Hi, welcome to the live stream this morning. So for those of you who don't know, my name's Jabeen. I'm a channel of Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be giving messages about what's going on at the moment, according to who's listening. Maybe do some clearing as well, and talk about the week ahead. So I'm just going to let him come in and speak through me. I would like you to know that what I am actually seeing at the moment is that there is a lot going on many levels. It is almost like what is going on is that there is a lot turning around in order to be transformed. But some of what is turning around is very old energy that is trying to leave and trying to transform, but is getting a bit stuck in places. What I would like you to know is that nobody is asking you to be in the sort of energy that is very dynamic, going forwards fast at the moment. But you are being told to actually engage with the parts which are getting stuck. Perhaps not necessarily by consciously identifying it in depth, but actually to work with it as an energy in itself. Stuckness, energies that get stuck in you because there are deeper issues underneath. And what I mean by this is that it is very much at the moment about getting a sense of what is there, what is actually going on, whether there are places where you are stuck. And once you get a sense about this, you are able to work with the stuck energy in a way that is most efficient for yourselves. So, for some people, this may be through movement, through sound, through music and dance. But what I am really seeing is that you will all have your own ways of working with these stuck energies. For some of you here, you would like to actually engage with the stuck energy in greater depth and really get a sense of what is going on there. Be quite precise and almost in one way or another forensic about identifying it, clearing it, and really getting to the root and pulling it out from there. But for other people, it is much more that you are able to actually simply have a sense that there is energy in you which is stuck and work with it in a way where you are moving it through yourselves in various ways which are more in one way or another general. And the reason I would like to give this message is because I do actually see that generally you have been good at identifying core themes. So the places where you get stuck will actually, in one way or another, carry those core themes within them. So, for example, if you have issues around being abandoned, it will be most likely that some of those stuck energies will have that theme of abandonment running through it. And it may involve lifetimes where you have been abandoned. It may involve other kinds of energies that are activating this wound. But what you are able to do is work with it in a general way. Because what I am seeing at the moment is that it is very much about sweeping up the debris. And the debris can sometimes just be swept up as a whole rather than forensically analysed and cleared in that way. I am also giving you this message so you know that it is possible to clear yourselves in a multitude of ways. Sometimes, even a swim in nature is able to clear up these microscopic places in you which are carrying debris, but microscopic fragments which are left in you, which may actually really be affecting your life, stopping certain things from happening, almost like a splinter on one of your feet, where you are feeling it very deeply. Yet it is only a splinter, something quite minute in comparison to the rest of you, but something you are really feeling. And this is what I am seeing generally in all of you, that it is about cleaning up these fragments at the moment before something new can begin. And this does actually apply to all of you, that it is like you are preparing for new lives, but there are things which get in the way. And sometimes those things feel enormous. But actually, I see for all of you, it is debris. It is not as big as it may feel. But I do see that for some of you, you are heavily impacted, because what is actually going on is that it is that these things have built up over time. So it is almost like you have got quite a few of these bits which have got quite large in terms of the type of energy there. And it feels big because of this. What I'm really trying to say is that you have been working with really big energies, and you may have cleared a lot, but what is left over also has a certain amount of potency to it, because the energies you were working with in the first place were massive, had got really big over time. And although you may have cleared, for example, 80% of it, the parts which are more microscopic left over are still fairly potently charged with a certain kind of energy. I hope this makes sense. It is really good for you to know that it is important to keep focusing on clearing these things away. And I also would like you to know that through this, you will start to create lives which are much more meaningful, which have more substance to them, more depth of purpose, more clarity. So it may not feel like at the moment you are living such lives, but you are going to get there. And when you are in that place, you will actually have more energy. You will even have more time, because what you will find is that you will be working more efficiently. You will be able to actually have more time for leisure and fun, pleasurable activities. And so it is going to be like this, that the deeper you go into your purpose, and the more that you embrace it, the more that you will find that you have more energy, more time to do things that you have always wanted to do. And I will say that it is these particles, this debris, the microscopic debris that is left over, that is really making you feel heavy at the moment. That makes you feel that perhaps sometimes it is hopeless for you. And I want you to be with these fragments and to know that they are microscopic in comparison to what has been there in the past. And I also would like you to know that you don't have to really be in a state of having to know everything that is there in order to clear it. I have a few more messages to give. I would like you to all know that there are some things in life which are going to change rather fast. You will find that there are some things that you have taken for granted that are going to change quite radically in the next few months. And these sort of things are things that you are going to start to appreciate more than ever before. For example, it is things that you require in order to keep going in daily life, things that you take for granted, and you will start to build up a greater appreciation of these things that you rely upon. And the reason I'm speaking on this subject is because I would like all of you to start thinking more deeply about your lives and what you need in order to sustain yourselves, to look into ways of actually being more self sufficient. So, this may involve doing really small things like collecting rainwater that you can use for things that need doing in the house, things that do not necessarily require very clean water, where you can use the water that you collect and you are able to use it to do tasks around the home or water plants. Or it can involve doing other things, even such as growing some food, or perhaps even finding ways of getting around without having to use an automobile, where you can actually be much more in the energy of not having to rely on things like fuel supplies. What I am trying to say is that things will change quite drastically, and I do not see that it will stay like this forever. But it is really good to be more self sufficient, even in small ways. It is not that you need to be fully self sufficient, because you have got each other to rely upon, and there will be ways of going forwards. There will always be ways, whether you are able to do things yourself or not. But the less that you have to rely on external supplies, the better. And perhaps for some of you, it will be that you will be able to be fully self sufficient and not need anything from the outside in order to keep going. But for others, it is going to be in small ways that you become more independent, self sufficient, and this will help you in the coming times ahead, because certain things you will not then be affected by. I also will say that for some of you here, you may even find that you are feeling really drawn to being with people who are going to be sharing knowledge and information with others about this subject, being with them and actually being a part of something larger, where you are going to be sharing information, doing things, and then showing others how to do them, and teaming up with others who are doing the same. What I am also wanting you to know is that through this, there will be a new energy on earth, where people will start to realize that there is a lot they can do for themselves. That doesn't really take a lot of effort after a while. That there are new ways that they can do things generally, that will mean that they can be more independent and also have less pressure to make money, because there are things that they can do that don't really involve spending money, that will then help them to keep going in life. I also would like you to know that there is going to be something that really changes in the world. And because of this, also, I see that people will need to be a bit stronger in themselves generally, where they are actually able to be more resourceful, find alternative ways of doing things. And it may even be that some people who are listening right now actually feel that they are able to lead the way here. And when I talk about alternative ways, I am also speaking about ways that you can be unaffected by the stress energies around, where you can keep yourself strong psychologically, mentally, build up your resilience to external energies and chaos, where you are able to keep going in your own energy and not be affected by negative thought forms. So that is what I am seeing in the coming times ahead. And I see that any preparation that you can do now is very good. And for some of you, it will just involve doing really small things, making minor adjustments, and finding that this is going to really help you in going forwards. I have a few more messages to give. I would like you to know that when you are living a life that is all about the light and being in it in all ways, it does mean that there are things that will be let go of, things that you may have thought would always be there for you, such as certain people or even places, things that you believed were really right for you. But as you go into a deeper alignment with your spirit, you may start to realize that these things were more karmic, were more about the past, lives you have had before. It may even be that you have really felt that certain people are your tribe and part of your community. And then as you go deeper, you see that these are old alliances and they are no longer resonating with who you are becoming. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I want you to know that it is really important to stay connected to your spirit and what is right for you, and not to get caught up in earthly energies whereby you are going to end up recreating the past. It is all about being true to your spirit and creating a new life at the moment based on what is right in each and every moment. And in so doing, you will end up transmuting what has been on a deeper level. But there is such a thing as actually making a conscious decision to follow your spirit no matter what. And this is actually a way of clearing a lot of energy fast, as well as anything you do consciously through your clearing work, your meditation practices, actually being fiercely committed to following your spirit is another way of clearing up a lot of karmic backlog. And I am seeing that all of you need to make this commitment on a deeper level, because it will mean that you will actually move forwards much faster in life without unnecessary distractions, without having to go over old ground in order to get to where you would like to be. I have one more message to give, and that is there are many light workers who at the moment are feeling a bit ill equipped to be able to do their service in the world because there are things going on in them. And these light workers are being told by their guides and angels to remember that they don't have to be in a fit state on all levels to be serving their purpose. They are being told that even if they are not feeling fully well, they will be able to serve their purpose and through this find more wellness. So the light workers who feel that perhaps they are missing something, a bit ill equipped, like they can do things, but perhaps not be able to have answers to all their own problems and every problem a person presents. They are being told, don't worry, focus on what you can do. And through this, you will also attract what you need to be well. That as you do what you can, you play your part to the best of your ability. It is like life will meet you there, and life will deliver to you what you need in order to be fully well. I hope this makes sense. It is like that it is like this, that as you play your part to the fullest of your ability, life meets you in that place and delivers to you, to the fullest of its ability, everything that you need to be well. It is really good for you to remember this, to not hold back from sharing what you know with others, sharing your gifts, regardless of whether you feel fully well or not. If you are going to wait to be fully well until you start serving your purpose, you will be waiting a long time, because there is such a thing as actually creating more wellness by playing your part. And as you are helping others, you yourself will also be helping yourself. And what you are giving to others, you will receive. It is really good for those of you who are healers, therapists, who are here to help others to know this, that it is a good time to go forwards with your work, to not feel that you have to be fully well. That is all. I would like to give a few messages for the week ahead. The energies at the moment are very good for going forwards in ways which are quite unique, ways which are quite creative. Things that you have not thought of doing in the past may suddenly appeal to you. New opportunities may come your way. And you may even find that as a result, you start to feel lighter and clearer in ways that you don't expect. So, what I am seeing for the week ahead is that you may be drawn to new things, new opportunities may suddenly come your way. And you may even find yourselves feeling that you are able to actually do more than you were thinking you could. So I would like you to know that the week ahead will be a positive one. It will be an interesting one where you are able to make progress within and without. And it is also a time where you are able to actually initiate changes in other people's lives as well. And by this, I mean that those of you who are in some way or another responsible for others, whether you are caring for elderly parents, or whether you have children of your own, or other people in your care in some capacity or another, I do see that you will be able to initiate changes in their lives in some way or another. New opportunities will come along that will actually mean that their lives will improve, which will make your lives easier as well. That is what I see the energies of the week ahead are all about. I have no more messages. Yeah, so thank you everyone for being part of this, for listening, and yeah, and wishing you all a really good week ahead, a really interesting week, and much love to all of you.